thousands of dollars each year on useless things, from new tech to services to clothes and so on. When one day I realized that money was going out but not really in. So I've stopped to think about that for a moment, and here's what I've learned. And you will also see why the true cost of a Starbucks coffee is way more than $5. Hi, Jared here, and today let's talk about wasting money. So, in this video, you will learn the true cost of a cup of coffee, how to control wasteful spending, and one true method that saves me money. I recently went to Starbucks in the US to buy an iced coffee, and although it tasted amazingly good, the price left a bad taste in my mouth. $5 for a cup of coffee mixed with milk and half filled with ice. I know whether it's expensive and scarce during summer, but at that point, really? Starbucks is a company, meaning it has to pay employees, locations for the store across the world, cardboard and pay out dividends to investors. A handmade iced coffee, the one I drink right now, only costs 20 cents. Yep. 20 cents. And most people buy a $5 coffee each and every day. So that adds up to $155 a month and $1,825 a year. But the true cost of that coffee is not $1,825 a year. It's way more than that. In fact, instead of spending $5 a day on a cup of coffee, you could invest that money on an index fund mirroring the S&P 500, meaning the 500 biggest US companies, including Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, and Nvidia, for instance. It's been launched 100 years ago and has since returned an average of 10% a year, or 8% after inflation. It means that if you start now to invest that cup of coffee each month for the next 10 years until 2042, you will have an investment value of $41,000, including $12,000 of free earned interest, thanks to the monthly investments you would have made in 2022. This is even crazier if you take an investment period of 20 years and 30 years. And there are plenty of reasons Americans aren't investing as much as they should. For many workers, it's a matter of not having the money available after paying living expenses. For others, it's a matter of absent knowledge and fear. But even when these factors don't apply, Americans still tend to fall down on these fronts, so much that 44% spend more money each year on coffee than on stocks, bonds, or other such money-making vehicles, according to the investing app Corns. Okay then, what about eating out? So, small expenses can add up when it comes to eating out at restaurants, but small changes also make a big difference. Here's how much it really costs to eat out, plus some savings tips. And you've probably heard this advice before: if you want to save money, stop eating out so much. And let's be honest, you've tried, but you haven't really stuck with that advice, right? And I live in a growing city, so I get it. But maybe some actual numbers will help you really see how much you can save if you do not go out to eat in restaurants, even if it is just a few days a week. The average American spends just over $3,000 a year on restaurants and takeout, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And are you thinking there is no way you could spend that much? Well, let's take another look. If you go out for lunch Monday through Friday for a year, you might spend $10 a meal, right? A pretty good deal at most dining establishments. And this alone adds up to $50 weekly. It's also easy to spend that amount if you go out to dinner 2 or 3 times a week. And yes, if you order takeout or delivery, this still counts as dining out. So, no cheating, please. Spend $50 a week on restaurant foods, and in total, you're spending $2,500 per year already, near the national average. And this cash adds up to almost half of the average American's annual food budget. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with grabbing a bite to eat with friends now and then, but if you are eating lunch out every day or ordering pizza a few times a week, you would probably want to cut this bad habit. That's enough to take a vacation or do a home improvement project, for instance. Instead, you can pack your lunch and eat out on Fridays only and cut pizza nights down to once or twice a month. And then, buying things I will never use. I've stopped counting how much time I actually wanted something that I didn't even need. I remember seeing a piece of tech, for instance, phone, tablet, headphone or a camera with a 20 to 50% discount, and browsing the web for reviews and prices, thinking I would make a good deal. But I wasn't. The Diderot effect states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption, which leads you to acquire more new things, again and again. As a result, we end up buying things that our previous selves never needed to feel happy or fulfilled. And on the same tone, selling your used stuff can be a good option too. I've started doing that for the past few months, and even though it didn't get me to $1 million, obviously, it allowed me to save money in order to invest it somewhere else. Okay, next, shoes. Although you wear at least one pair of shoes every day, I truly think that owning 4 pairs of shoes is far from enough. 2 pairs for everyday use, 1 to work out and flip-flops, because that's very comfortable. And I truly think that owning more than 4 is pointless and even useless, because you would not even wear them anyway and they would be sitting somewhere in your house, attic or basement for years. And a report by Psychology Today found that, indeed, of all the pairs of shoes owned, most people regularly wear only 3 to 4, which again says everything. Today, a pair of jeans comes in at about $60 on average, which means Americans spend about $38.5 million on denim pants every day, or $14 billion annually. And the average adult aged between 25 to 44, I don't have that of others, spends around $161 per month on clothing. And I personally think that's way more than it should be. I mean, I spend only $30 to $40 a year on clothing. I mean, that costs around $5, jeans around $40, and that is it. I mean, 3 to 4 shirts a year, that's way more than enough, because I've already have that's like white, grey and black shirts, which already are way more than enough. And finally, one of the foundations of this video, failing to budget your money. Yep, because this means not tracking your spending and not knowing where your money is going and when your income is going to. And in most cases, this can lead to overspending and wasting money on unnecessary items, like I used to do. I truly think that tracking your income, spending and investment is essential right now. Just take a pen or the app on your phone and make a list with the dates, how much money is coming in and out, at which frequency, and what to do to reduce spending. The goal here is to have a better balance. And if you want to, you can also apply the 50-30-20 budget principles. 50% toward needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards savings and debt payments. But again, it's up to you. I really like to save as much money as possible, but you can do anything you want basically. Limiting your overspending could be the beginning of a new financial life for you and maybe your family. While it may appear difficult, keep in mind that overspending is a result of habits you develop today. And if you can truly isolate some financial patterns, you will be well on your way to not only reducing your spending, but also securing the future you desire. So, what do you think about that? What is your approach to saving money? And above all, what would you say to help others start? Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave a comment down below, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one.